This is the third anniversary of our nation's independence, both as the president of our dear country and simply as a fellow Nigerian. On this solemn yet hopeful day, let us commend our founding fathers and mothers. Without them, there would have been no modern Nigeria. From the fading embers of colonialism, their activism, dedication, and leadership gave life to the belief in Nigeria as a sovereign and independent nation. Let us, at this very moment, affirm that as Nigerians, we are all endowed with the sacred right and individual gifts that God has bestowed on us as a nation and as human beings. No one is greater or lesser than the other. The triumph that Nigeria has achieved shall define us. The travails we have endured shall strengthen us, and no other nation or power on this earth shall keep us from our rightful place and destiny. This nation belongs to you, dear people. Love and cherish it as your very own. Nigeria is yours. Nigeria is remarkable in its formation and essential character. We are a broad and dynamic blend of ethnic groups, religious, tradition, and cultures. Yet, our bonds are yet intangible, strong, invisible, yet universal. We are joined by a common thirst for peace and progress, by the common dream of our prosperity and harmony, and by the unified ideas of tolerance and justice, forging a nation based on the fair application of these noble principles to a diverse population has been a task of significant blessing, but also serious challenge. Some people have said an independent Nigeria should never have come into existence. Some have said that our country will be torn apart. They are forever mistaken. Here, our nation stands, and here we shall remain. This year, we passed a significant milestone in our journey to a better Nigeria by democratically electing a seventh consecutive civilian government. Nigeria has proven that commitment to democracy and the rule of law remains our guiding lights. At my inauguration, I made important promises about how I will govern this nation. Among those promises were pledges to reshape and modernize our economy and to secure the lives, liberty, and property of the people. I said that bold reforms were necessary to place our nation on the path of prosperity and growth. On that occasion, I announced the end of the fuel subsidy. I am attuned to the hardship that have come. I have a heart that feels and eyes that see. I wish to explain to you why we must endure this trying moment. Those who sought to perpetuate the fuel subsidy and broken foreign exchange policies are people who will build their family mansion in the middle of a swamp. I am different. I'm not a man to erect our national home on a foundation of mud. To endure, our home must be constructed on safe and pleasant ground. Reform may be painful, but it is what greatness and the future require. We now carry the cost of reaching a future Nigeria where the abundance and fruit of the nation are fairly shared among all, not hoarded by a select and greedy few. A Nigeria where hunger, poverty, and hardship are pushed into the shadows and ever-fading past. There is no joy in seeing the people of this nation shoulder burdens that should have been shed years ago. I wish today's difficulties did not exist, but we must endure if we have to reach the good side of our future. My government is doing all that it can do to ease the load. I will now outline the path we are taking to relieve the stress on our families and households. We have embarked on a several sector reform to stabilize the economy, direct physical and monetary policy to fight inflation, encourage production, ensure the security of lives and property, and lend more support to the poor and the vulnerable. Based upon our talks with labor, business, and other stakeholders, we are introducing a provisional wage award increment to enhance the federal minimum wage without causing undue inflation. For the next 6 months, the average low-grade worker shall receive an additional 25,000 naira per month. To ensure better grassroots development, we set up an infrastructure support fund for states to invest in critical areas. States have already received funds to provide relief packages against the impact of rising food and other prices. Making the economy more robust by lowering transport costs shall be key. In this regard, we have opened a new chapter in public transportation through the development of cheaper, safer, compressed natural gas, CNG, buses across the nation. These buses will operate at a fraction of current fuel prices, positively affecting transport fare. The new CNG conversion schemes will start coming in very soon, as all hands are on deck to fast-track the usual lengthy procurement process. We are also setting up training facilities and workshops across the nation to train and provide new opportunities for the transport operators and entrepreneurs. This is a groundbreaking moment where, as a nation, we embrace more efficient means to power our economy. In making this change, we also make history. I pledged a thorough house cleaning of the den of malvisions the CBN has become. That house cleaning is well underway. A new leadership for the central bank has been constituted. Also, the special investigator will soon present its findings on the past lapses and how to prevent similar recurrences. Henceforth, monetary policy shall be for the benefit of all and not the exclusive province of the powerful and wealthy. Wise tax policy is essential for the economic fairness and development. I have inaugurated a committee on tax reform to improve the efficiency of tax administration in the country and address fiscal policies that are unfair or hinder the business environment and slow our growth. To boost employment and urban incomes, We are providing investment funding for enterprises with greater potential. Similarly, we are increasing investment in micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. Commencing this month, the social safety net is being extended through the expansion of the cash transfer programs to an additional 15 million vulnerable households. My administration shall always accord the highest priority to the safety of the people. Inter-service collaboration and intelligence sharing have been enhanced. Our service chiefs have been tasked with the vital responsibility of rebuilding the capacity of our security services. Here, I salute and commend our gallant security forces for keeping us safe and securing our territorial integrity. Many have paid the ultimate sacrifice. We remember them today and their families. We shall equip our forces with the ways and means needed to perform their urgent task on behalf of the people. We shall continue to make key appointments in line with the provision of Constitution and with fairness towards all men, women, youth, and physically challenged shall continue to be given due regard in these appointments. May I take this opportunity to congratulate the National Assembly for its role in the quick takeoff of this administration through the performance of its constitutional duties of confirmation and oversight. I similarly congratulate the judiciary as a pillar of democracy and fairness. I also thank members of our dynamic civil society organizations and labor unions for their dedication to Nigerian democracy. We may not always agree, but I value your advice and recommendations. You are my brothers and sisters, and you have my due respect. Fellow compatriots, the journey ahead will not be navigated by the fear of hatred. We can only achieve a better Nigeria through courage, compassion, commitment as one indivisible unit. I promise that I shall remain committed and serve faithfully. I also invite all to join this enterprise to make our beloved nation into its better self. We can do it. We must do it. We shall do it. I wish you all a happy 63rd Independence Anniversary. Thank you very much for listening. May God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria and bless all of you.
Well, this is the sad reality of Nigeria democracy. Now, while you think you are running away from the judiciary, you're actually playing into the hands of the executive. And of course, you are running away from the executive, you're actually playing into the hands of the judiciary. And of course, running away from the judiciary and the executive, you're playing into the hands of the legislature. This is still serious matters here at Tony TV, just showing a reality of what Nigeria democracy looks like. And of course, it's so sad how much Nigerians are being eaten up by all the different arms of government that we depend on to be. And of course, look at what happens at the end of the day. This is the reality of what happens. Nigeria gets nothing at the end of the day. Nigerians get nothing at the end of the day. And now we're heading for a nationwide strike that is supposed to commence on the 3rd of October 2023. And of course, there have been several talks, and it has become a custom that once the Nigerian Labour Congress says they want to go on national strike, a complete shutdown, then they say, let us talk. And of course, when they talk, nothing happens again until when next they say we're going on strike. And for how long do we want to do that? I've heard very, very sad and pathetic stories of people who find it very hard to get home, to go back home. So now people go to work on Mondays and return home on Friday. They sleep in the office, they bathe in the office, just because they can't afford transportation back home. All prices gone up. taxes gone up, dollar, nothing to write home about. And here we are. The minimum wage that is pegged at 30,000 naira is not even being paid by some governments or some state governors. It's terrible and it's sad that a government could come into power and take out, subsidy just like that without any plan. Any plan. People have got so much, some ridiculous, palliatives in quotes. Having 2 cups of rice, for how long will that go? 2 cups of rice and 500 naira. Please, how does that cushion the effect of subsidy removed? I've said times and again, I don't believe in the removal of subsidy because there is no country in the world where things are not being subsidized. There is no place in the world. Everywhere you see our people run into today have things being subsidized in those places. And so there's nothing wrong with it being for our fuel to be subsidized. However, instead of taking out subsidy, why not take out the scam and the corruption in the subsidy? You are only saying to us that you are incompetent and you are unable to deal with corruption. That is simply what it means. Because I do not, you can see the hardship that the removal of subsidy had brought upon Nigerians. Even for 4 months now, it's terrible. It's been like it has grounded a number of persons. People have lost their jobs, and it's just so sad. People can't pay their children's school fees. People can't pay for their rent anymore. It's so sad. It's so unfortunate that Nigerians have always been at the receiving end. They are the ones that has to pay for everything. Then our president comes up in July and telling us that we are the ones to pay the sacrifice. Why they still go home with their jumbo package? The legislatures, the senators, the House of Rep members, the governors still go home with their jumbo packets. They still drive, bulletproof cars, run into millions, hundreds of millions of naira. And yet you say we, who are paid 30,000 naira minimum wage, who don't even get the payment, we are the ones that have to pay the sacrifice. But we'll see how this pans out because it's only a matter of time. You push a dog to the wall or you push a goat to the wall, somehow it will turn around and tell you, look, we cannot continue like this. And that is the truth. Someday, and I believe it's just around the corner, Nigerians will wake up to the reality of a good life. Nigerians will wake up to a life better than what we have today. Well, this is still Serious Matters here at Olive TV. This short video I showed you just by the side here. You realize that while you are running away from the judiciary, you are playing into the hands of the executive. You're running away from the executive, you play back into the hands of the judiciary. And while you run away from both of them, the legislature, eats you up. And of course, before you realize it, you are empty. You have nowhere to run to. Of course, they say the court is always the common man's hope, but not in Nigeria. Not in Nigeria, where somebody who steals 1 billion naira, does a plea bargain, and of course he says I'll pay 500 million naira back, and they say go home. That's okay. But then the one who steals 10,000 naira goes to jail. What a nation. Well, just the reality of Nigeria democracy. This is still Serious Matters here at Olive TV. Share your opinions, drop a comment, and happy weekend. Well, we're heading for Independence Day tomorrow. Well, there's no independence anywhere, so I don't see any independence celebration happening anywhere. Nigeria is 63, and then Nigeria is not yet crawling. So we have a bigger issue at hand. It's not about celebrating independence. It's about getting to know what our problem really is and getting to solve it. Well, please do share videos or drop a comment, make them simple and simple. Let us know what your opinions are. God bless you. Bye-bye.